We've been talking about this a lot, the idea of fighting a guy who you saw your entire life, who you really admire, who you really respect, and you've said that, but at the same time you have to kind of not worry about that too much, right? After all, you do have to beat him. Now that it's so close, how are you feel? How is the idea of fighting Aldo? Like, is that something that's sinking in? Like, how are you feeling at this point, so close to the fight, about fighting him specifically?
At this point, I don't think in this anymore. You know, in the beginning, when they say, "Oh, you will fight against Aldo," I'm feel a little like excited. You know, ready to go, but think, "Oh, he's a legend. This is my biggest opponent." But now in the fight week, I don't think in this anymore because it's too close and we have to focus. And to me, it's just another fight.
Did you talk to him? Like, did you get a chance to greet him at the hotel?
No, I didn't see him yet, but soon I will.
And how do you expect that to go? I mean, you guys were very respectful toward each other. I think he's also a guy who doesn't really like talking trash about his opponent. So do you think it's just going to be a friendly interaction?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Of my part, yes, because I don't like to disrespect anybody. I don't like to disrespect anyone. I always like to be humble and that's it. You know, I don't feel I have to be angry or show some nerves, something like that. You know, I always try to be respectful with my opponents.
And that was what I was going to ask. I think some fighters actually like, right, having the anger or the animosity. They just kind of like not liking the guy that's across the cage. For you, is it better to not have really emotions going in?
It's the same, because sometimes when the guy try to push me and try to, I will beat you, I feel good too, because it's like more like something to push you, you know, something to, oh, I want to beat this guy too. But if the guy show respect, I like to show respect too. But even if the guy don't respect me, I respect him, because it's the way my parents raised me, you know. They always talking to me about be respectful and humble, and it's who I am, you know. I can't do different. I don't know how to explain this, but it's my way.
And you're very young, and obviously this is a big fight that could have title shot implications. Did you expect to already have this fight at this point of your career? Like, is it surprising that it's happening so early? Yeah,
but maybe was the I don't know how to say this in English, but maybe I'm the right spot on the right time, because I have two. Como é que eu falo? Eu tive duas vitórias.
Wins. I had 2 wins.
I had two big wins against Cub Swanson and Jeremy Stephen in the past, and Aldo fought with Jeremy Stephen. So maybe a combination of things, you know. And we have to. I think UFC want to see what happens, you know, like a new guy coming or the former champion. So I think it's the right spot in the right time, and this will be my time.
I think I know the answer to this one, but do you think that by winning this, you're gonna get a title shot next?
Yeah, I think so. Everybody know Aldo is a legend, is a former champion. So I win over him. I think they can't. Eles não podem deixar de fazer essa luta. They can't avoid the title shot, but we never know, because I don't know what Max will do now. You know, they don't know if he go up to the lightweight or he stay in the featherweight. Let's see what UFC has to me, but what I'm thinking about is only in Saturday, February 2, beat a legend.
And speaking of said legend, when we talked before, you did say, well, I watched him fight my whole life. And every time people ask you in which division you would fight, you'd say, I'm going to fight in Aldo's division. Yeah. So you had a lot of time and chances to study him. I know we respect him a lot. We know his strengths, but what do you think are his weaknesses? What have you been able to spot in his game that, you know, are openings for you?
Yeah, it's hard to say what is his weakness, because he's a tremendous good athlete and tremendous good fighter. So what I think is the moment, you know, in the life goes on, and sometimes you have your moment, and sometimes this moment pass. So the only thing I think about is that now is my moment. You know, everybody's saying now it's your moment, and I believe that. I truly believe it's my moment to go to a title shot, and Aldo will be like the next step for that.
And speaking of the title shot, like you said, things can happen. You're very young. You could prefer to stay active, but at this point, if you win this fight, would you be willing to sort of wait for a title shot, or would you rather just keep moving and keep fighting?
I don't want to think about that now, because I have a big fight, you know, and I have to focus on Saturday. But I will do what UFC want, you know. In the end of the day, we are just employees, you know, and you have to do my contract and do whatever they say, you know. I'm here to fight, but I love if the next fight will be for the championship. But let's see.
You did say it's hard to find his weaknesses and that you're focusing on the fact that it's your time now. But speaking of your game, what do you think that you possess that can be a challenge for him?
The will, you know. I have the will. I have a strong mind, and I will keep going forward, and this fight will be mine.
Do you will it be a particularly like emotional occasion for you walking out to this arena in the co-main event to fight Aldo? Like, is this just any other fight, or do you think that it's going to be feel a little special?
No, like I'm saying all the week, I'm not a emotional guy before fights. I'm emotional guy after fights, because I like to think with my head. I like to think straight, you know. I don't like to think with emotions, because if you put emotions in the business, it's no good. The people say business is business, you know. And what I think is after the fight, I will be very happy, you know, very emotional, because I think he's a legend, and this is a big accomplishment to me. But what I think is, in this week, in the day of the fight, I will be focused on the win only, not emotional, not thinking about the crowd, because these things don't make any difference to me. You know, if the people boo or if the people cheer you, I don't care about. I don't care about where I fight, when I fight, against I fight. I only care about my game plan, my strategy, my focus, and that's it.
We talked about this before. You've been at American Top Team for a while. You went there after your loss to Ortega. How big, you did talk about how important it was for you to go there, but do you think that, how big of a part did they play in getting you here at this point? Like, how big was ATT into getting you to this fight?
I think it's a huge point, because ATT is a tremendous team, very professional, and there I learned about resting more, training less, not training harder, training smarter, they say. If you're training hard, at some point your bodies will break, you know, so you have to train smart. And I'm getting older, so I have to make some adjustments in my training, and I'm doing very good at the training and rest. And to me, it was a personal good experience too, because I kind moved to Florida, so me and my wife only. So it's like I'm growing, you know, like human being too, because it's not only about professional, it's about life too. So now I know myself better, you know. We living together without family, so I don't have like all the things I want. You know, sometimes I want to see my grandmother. Sometimes I want to see my mother, my father, and I don't have. But I think, oh, this is okay. This is life, and this is help to grow in me. And this is made me a better fighter too, because you learn to control your emotions and separate like the professional and the personal life. So it's great to be on America Top Team. It's great to be on America. I love America too. I love Brazil, but I love America. I have to say that, you know, I love America.
You talked about getting older. You're still pretty young, but we know that one thing that gets harder as you go is the weight cut. And you're sort of a big guy for the division. Do you have any plans of moving up at all?
Not for now. You know, I think in the last fight I didn't fight, but I have to make the weight because I'm a backup fighter for the Ortega and Holloway. But I didn't make the weight. I know I missed for 1 pound, but this helped me to doing better now, because now my weight is good. Few more pounds to go, and this is my division. You know, I feel that. But in the future, maybe I have to move to lightweight, because you're getting older. Your weight is getting bigger too, you know, so it's difficult, but it's part of the job.
We've also talked about this before. Well, we know you're focused on Aldo. We've established that, but how do you feel like, say you get your title shot, and we have seen how well Max is doing. How do you think that you match up against the champ?
I don't know. It's always hard talking about a champion, you know, but what I think, I have like a very difficult fight. Aldo is a very hard fight for anyone, but to me, Max, I think my game plan, it's more dangerous for him than any other competitor, you know, because we have the same length, the same height, and the same style. So I will be a tough fight for him. I know that. And
last thing for me, do you have, you know, when you think about Saturday and getting your hand raised, do you have any particular way that you wanted to go down? Like, have you visualized the finish? Are you thinking about that, or are you just going in there just thinking about getting the win, and that's good enough?
Just about getting the win, you know. I don't think in nothing else than the win, but I don't know how the fight will go, but I want my arm raised, like you say.